It's over. Those two words echo in the space where laughter used to live. The world you built, brick by loving brick, has just been leveled. You're standing in the dust, wondering how a structure that felt so solid could crumble so fast. What now? How do you even begin to breathe when the air has been sucked out of your lungs? If you've ever felt this gut-wrenching emptiness, this video is for you. We're going to walk through this wreckage together, and I promise, by the end, you'll see the first light of a new day. The moment it happens is a blur. The words hang in the air, sharp and cold. A door closes, a call ends, a message is read, and just like that, a chapter of your life slams shut. Your body goes into shock. Your hands might be shaking, or maybe they're perfectly still. You look around the room, at the photos, the shared mugs, the corner of the sofa that was their spot, and it all looks alien. It's like watching a movie of someone else's life falling apart, but the screams are trapped in your own chest. Your mind races, trying to pinpoint the exact second it went wrong, replaying conversations, searching for clues you must have missed. But there are no easy answers, only the deafening silence of what used to be. And then the memories hit you like a tidal wave. You remember the beginning, don't you? The nervous excitement of the first date, the silly inside jokes that only the two of you understood. You remember the plans you made, the future you mapped out together in late-night whispers. You think of all the effort, the compromises, the vulnerability. You poured so much of yourself into this, believing in a shared dream. You celebrated their wins as your own and held them through their losses. You learned their coffee order, the way they liked their blankets, the song that always made them smile. You built a world for two, a sanctuary you thought was safe. All that hope, all that work, feels like a cruel joke now. A story you told yourself that had a different ending than the one you're living. This is the abyss. The days that follow are a thick fog of pain. Waking up is the hardest part. For a split second, you forget, and then the weight of reality crashes down on you all over again. The emptiness is a physical presence, a hollow ache in your chest. Every song on the radio seems to be about you. Every happy couple you see on the street feels like a personal attack. You might feel an anger so intense it scares you, or a sadness so deep you're not sure you'll ever surface. You isolate yourself because explaining your pain is exhausting. Friends and family offer well-meaning advice. You'll get over it. There are other fish in the sea, but their words feel like pebbles thrown into a canyon. They can't possibly understand the depth of your loss. In this moment, you are utterly and completely alone with your grief. And it's okay to feel that. It's okay to let the tears fall, to scream into a pillow, to not be okay. This part of the journey isn't about fixing anything. It's about surviving the storm. Then one day, something shifts. It's small, almost unnoticeable. Maybe you be walking down the street and you see the sun hitting a building in a way that makes you pause, not with sadness, but with a flicker of simple appreciation. Or maybe a friend makes a joke, and a real, genuine laugh escapes before you can stop it. It might feel like a betrayal at first, to feel a moment of peace in the middle of your heartbreak. But this is the glimmer. This is the first crack in the darkness, letting a sliver of light in. It's your spirit, bruised and battered, quietly whispering that it's still there. It's the realization that while a huge part of your life is gone, you are not. The world kept spinning, and a tiny part of you is starting to spin with it. This isn't the end of your pain, not by a long shot, but it's the beginning of a new perspective. It's the first sign that there is life on the other side of this. Now we rebuild. It's time to take that tiny glimmer of hope and fan it into a flame. This part is about taking small, deliberate actions. Start by reclaiming your space. Rearrange the furniture. Buy new sheets. Create an environment that feels like you, not like the ghost of a relationship. Next, reconnect with yourself. What did you love to do before you were a we? Was it painting, hiking, reading for hours, or dancing in your kitchen? Do that. Do it just for you. Re-establish routines that are yours: alone, a morning workout, a weekly call with a friend, a Sunday afternoon dedicated to a hobby. This isn't about distracting yourself. It's about remembering who you are outside of the partnership. It's about pouring all that love and energy you are giving away back into yourself. And please be patient. Some days will be 2 steps forward, and some will be 1 step back. That's the rhythm of healing. Each small step is a victory. Slowly but surely, you arrive at a new dawn. One morning, you'll wake up, and the first thing you think about won't be them. The ache in your chest will have faded to a scar, a reminder of a battle you fought and survived. You'll look back on the relationship not with bitterness, but with a quiet understanding. You'll see the lessons it taught you, the ways it helped you grow, and the strength it forged within you. You are not the same person you were before the fall. You are wiser. You are more resilient. You understand your own worth in a way you never did before. The emptiness that once threatened to consume you has been filled, not by someone else, but by you. You have navigated the darkest night of the soul and discovered that you are, and have always been, your own sunrise. Thank you for walking this path with me today. If this story resonated with you, please consider subscribing for more content on navigating life's challenges and finding your strength. Remember, healing is not a straight line, but you are moving forward. Take care of yourself.